Psalm 23. God has set a table for two, one chair for himself, the king, and the second one, believe it or not, is for you. But of course, the enemy wants a seat at the table too. Anxiety wants a seat, envy wants a seat, worry and frustration want a seat. But don't give the enemy a seat at your table. Look up, go up. You're invited up the mountain of God. Move towards infinite power, splendor, love, and beauty, healing and restoration. When we gaze upon the Almighty, we are changed by the captivation. Empowered to take every thought captive in the battle of the mind. Shame is silenced by his glory, and our future redefined. So draw near to Jesus. The shepherd is good. Our God is faithful. Take the place prepared for you. And don't give the enemy a seat at your table.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Solomon Nizami Shams, and welcome to Solomon's Temple. Sorry for the late arrival, and I was supposed to have an interview that was scheduled with a traditional healer, but she couldn't make it. And hopefully, maybe in future, we can rearrange that. But as you can see, I've changed the title of this interview. Now I'm going to be talking about, actually, in this program, I'll be talking about a cheating pastor exposed. I'm concentrating on younger pastors because there's been quite a lot. There's a rise of younger pastors in their 20s, their 30s that are very, very deceitful. They're very slick. As I will show you this slicky one. And a young girl got in touch with me to say, look, Solomon, I feel this is not right, and this person needs to be exposed. He wanted a relationship with me. I got into a relationship with him, and then I got other calls from other people who are in a relationship with him. Other younger, other younger women who have been in a relationship with him, and actually one has a baby for him. So he is sort of like playing them. But you see, this group of younger pastors are like, Yahoo boys in the pulpit, if you know what I'm saying. They're sleeky, they dress really expensively, branded, they love brands, they want to show their cars, they cut their hair really nicely, they show stuff on Instagram and social media, just like Tancredi, Miss Tancredi, J. Israel, and this person is actually associated with them. And he operates from a place called Hammarskraal outside of Pretoria in South Africa. He runs a church called Spirit Life Embassy, the same name of church that J. Israel used to run in East London. He runs this church called Spirit Life Embassy International. These guys are into Forex. These guys are into, they'll tell you they do every sort of business. But what they do is they prey on young women, even making money off this young woman. Young women, I'm not talking about, they are con men straight. So whatever they do, whoever they're in a relationship with, what's getting out? What can I get out of there? Whether it's a man or a woman. And that's what we're going to be looking at right now. There is an audio interview that I did with the young lady who brought this to my attention, and she shared her own side of the story. And there are a couple of other audios actually, conversation between them. So hopefully I'm going to show that. So I'm going to play you the interview. Jamaican in Tennessee say, "Oh no, I was really looking out for that program." We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. Hopefully, we're going to make it happen. Thank you. Mokopani is in the house. Hello from the UK. DJ Smoot, good to have you here. Rose, is good to have you here. Alex from Uganda. Ehidun from Abu Dhabi. Dani from Guyana. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you, Jesse, Sani Bonani. Thank you, Jameli Jamil from Canada, Moi Moi from New York, Aminata from Philadelphia, obviously FA from Great Britain, and so many other people. Thank you guys. Really appreciate each and every one of you guys who are here. And Hutchinson from the Bahamas. Appreciate each and every one of you. So let me go ahead and introduce to you this person. His name is, he calls himself Moses Brownson on Facebook, but that is actually not his real name. I have his copy of his driver's license here with his date of birth that I managed to get. That is not his original name. You know, the way they changed their name to make it sound catchy? It's just all part of the facade, all part of the game plan. You know, he was born in 1993. And like I told you, this guy is a young guy. But there's quite a lot of them. His name is Moses Brownson. That's what he calls himself. That's not his original name. I have his original name here, which is Setlajile from Hammerskra. So this is him here claiming to be a pastor. You can see his all neat, straight up haircut. So everything is sort of like made up to showcase that he has money, he's expensive, good looking, attract all these potential victims. That's what they do. So you see him displaying his car. You could see the kind of suit that he puts on. Young guy. And they always put on brands. Brands is what rules. You can see him here. It's all branded. It's all branded. Everything. This is intentional. It's intentional. You don't miss a thing. I'm not saying pastors shouldn't dress nicely and branded. No. But you see, with these guys, everything is programmed. Everything is intentionally done to deceive people. Even in his church, you know, I mean, he does what do you call it? He does events. This is one of his events. You can see him. He calls himself Prophet Moses Brownson. You can see his mic, golden mic, golden color. These guys are smart guys, extremely smart guys. So inside his church looks like this, you know. You can see him far out there on stage, and people, and they know how to use photos a lot because that's actually how they get to lure people in and deceive them. When he comes to church, he comes like a king. You open the door for him. You see he's carrying a stick, a walking stick, about the same one that Alf Lukau used to have, and also Jay Israel. You know, you have to open the door for him. Probably the guy opening the door for him is way older than him. And then he has his entourage, his people putting on. You see him in the middle, everybody, people that are older than him, serving him. This is church he's going into, he's going to preach. He's going to preach. So why I actually want to make emphasis on this is because we have quite a lot of people like this, young pastors who are coming out. And you know what? In 10 years' time, they're the ones that are going to be causing the destruction that the TB Joshuas and the Bushiris had caused. Flo Kiwi, thank you so much. For Kiwi said, good job, Solomon. Allah Yabaka. You're doing a marvelous job. Greetings from Orlando, Florida, USA. Thank you so much. And then you put on some Hausa there because you know I know Hausa. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. So I'm going to, like I said, a young lady approached me and said, look, she discovered that this guy is actually a con man. She had been in a relationship with him, but never intimate because she had her own values. And that was actually where she started picking that up. So let me play you an interview that I did with her. Just so you can have I'm not the one to tell you the story. She is the right person to tell you the story. And I love it when young women come out to actually share their story, because that way your story can help another person. Not just help another person, but your story would help bring this person, expose this person. That's important. Where am I? Okay, so I'm going to play you this interview that I had with her. Okay, I'm going to play this interview that I had with her, just so you can hear from her. You understand the way they operate, and you understand how she was deceived into coming in to the whole big picture. This guy, claiming to be a pastor, he has kids with other women, and he's a young guy, so he goes just everywhere. Anyway, let me not say much. Let me allow this voice note, this interview that I did with her earlier. Let me play it for you. Bring all this to the surface is important, not just because you were deceived, but also because people need to know the truth. That this person who claims to be a man of God, who claims to be a leader, is not really who he claims to be. Going from one woman to another and breaking their hearts and all that kind of stuff. So what happened between you guys? How did you meet and all that?
We met on Facebook. He invited me on Facebook, and we spoke. After a while, he just greeted me and told me how good looking I am, and it ended there. And because I have a school shoe drive planning, so I was asking for donations, and he had promised to donate, and he asked for my numbers because that's how I actually communicate with people that actually want to donate. He asked for my numbers.
So you're running a school drive. You want to get some money to buy what for students?
School shoes for school kids.
Okay, so you run a drive to buy school shoes for school kids. Is that something that you do every year? Or how often do you do that?
Yeah, I do it every after 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
So that was in January.
January this year.
Yes, this year. And then another one that he wanted to get involved in was now in May, and the handover was going to be in June.
Okay.
Yes. So he said he's going to donate, and he never donated. So, and then we never spoke. And then until I posted when I tested positive for COVID, and then I was just asking for prayers on my timeline. And then he called me and said and asked to pray for me. he prayed for me and told me that I'm going to be fine, and asked if I have everything that I need and all of that. So he just said, okay, he'll just contribute something for me to buy necessary medication, and he'll also ask his daughter, which is like his spiritual daughter, to prescribe this pill that is supposedly working wonders for COVID, which is Invicta, something like that.
Yes.
And I actually accepted his help. And afterwards, we started speaking. And then we started communicating. Then, which is not, it was now in July. Started speaking, and we eventually we got in a relationship because he was talking all the right things. He was telling me that he doesn't want to have sex with me until he pays Lubula, and he told me that he has made a lot of mistakes in his life, where he got in relationship and practice sex before marriage, and he was apparently engaged he said in 2019.
Okay.
He was engaged, called off the engagement because of how the girl was, her behavior didn't go with his image as a pastor. And then the engagement was called off. And then after the engagement, he supposedly met this girl, and they also sex. We had the conversation because he wanted to prove that he doesn't want to have sex with me because he saw how having sex before marriage is just affecting everything, his relationships. And then he had sex with this girl, and the girl got pregnant. It's the first time he asked the girl, I don't know if it's the same girl, but there's a girl that he said he had given money so that she can abort. And then another girl, which is now confirmed, because I'm speaking to one of the ladies that DM'd me on Instagram. She actually DM'd me on the 11th of August. But I'm only responding now because I'm just so want to expose this man. And new Facebook account, which was Moses Brownson. And then he asked me if he should say he's in a relationship. I'm like, yeah, you can put me in a relationship. And yeah, I just wanted.
Sorry, guys. I think I missed quite a bit of the audio there. There was a bit of audio problem. So let me just take it back a little bit. And then, yeah.
And he told me that he has made a lot of mistakes in his life, where he got in relationship and practiced sex before marriage.
I hope you can hear it now.
And he was apparently married, engaged. He said in 2019, he was engaged, called off the engagement because of how the girl was, her behavior.
Please let me know if you can hear the sound now. Is the sound okay?
Didn't go with his image as a pastor. And then the engagement was called off.
All right.
And then after the engagement, he supposedly met this girl, and they also sex. We had the conversation because he wanted to prove that he doesn't want to have sex with me because he saw how having sex before marriage is just affecting everything, his relationships. And then he had sex with this girl, and the girl got pregnant. At the first time, he asked the girl, I don't know if it's the same girl, but there's a girl that he said he had given money so that she can abort. And then another girl, which is now confirmed, because I'm speaking to one of the ladies that DM'd me on Instagram. She actually DM'd me on the 11th of August. But I'm only responding now because I'm just so want to expose this man. And he's telling me that actually the baby is born. Okay. And I'm waiting for her voice note because we exchanged numbers. She said she's going to send me a voice note telling me, because she said they've been together they were approaching 2 years. And apparently that pastor said to her, he had called me for her to find out about me. He said he had called me and he was calling things off with me, and they were together at that time. And I told her I never received such a call from him. So what happened is that for me to just see that this is all a cheat, when he wasn't all of a sudden answering my phones and always coming with excuses on why he's not answering, and he wasn't as video calling anymore. And there are certain disturbing things that he would say to me, things that, because now I've recently started with my, I want to get a driver's license, and he told me, because I wanted to get it straight, and he told me that no, I should actually buy it. And for a pastor is telling you that? Yes. Excuse me. And he said I should actually buy it. And I told him, you know what? I wanted to buy even my learners, but my mother wouldn't allow me because I'm a child of God. I should do things in order, and the Bible says so as well. It's like, no, the Bible also says give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. That's when I started to realize that actually this man is not who I thought he is. He was just justifying the actions and with the Bible, and he started telling me that he's horny. In as much as the conversation made me uncomfortable, he went on to video call me with him masturbating, and he asked me if I liked what he just did. Wow. And that's when I realized that actually this is not good. And
in front of you,
it
was very graphic in front of you, showing you all that.
Yes, and I took screenshots. He took a video he called me via video call, because when he told me that he's horny and I didn't entertain him because it made me uncomfortable. And then he video called me and started masturbating on the phone. He was already up and going, So I then started realizing that actually this man is not who I thought he is. And I realized then afterward, because there are a lot of things that I questioned about him, and it always justified, because there are certain men that I thought that I saw on his Facebook timeline, like this pastor that apparently resurrected someone. And I asked him about that pastor. He said, no, that pastor he wanted that pastor to be his spiritual father, but until that incident that happened, he withdrawn himself from that pastor, so he doesn't seem to be also a false prophet. Then I questioned the likes of Tancredi because I saw this post that he tagged Tancredi, and because I'm in the Val and I know the scandal about him, and I questioned him about him, and then he said they did business together, but he wouldn't get into details. He would just tell me, no, I'm no longer, I don't want to even speak bad about other pastors, because I'm now no longer communicating with them, so I don't want to speak about them, speak bad about them, because it will make me seem like a bad person. And there are a lot of things that, because he said he wants to meet my spiritual parents, because he sees that I'm from a good church. He sees that I'm well groomed, like spiritually. And from then and there, because my church is the church that I go to, my spiritual house isn't it's known, but it doesn't have scandals, and we do things in a certain way. So with me, I had now fallen in love with him. I wanted him to delete certain posts because I knew that should I tell my spiritual parents about this person, they'll want to see what he's about and what he posts, and the prophetic things on Facebook, which in our we don't do that like you record a live video and then you start prophesying people. There were a lot of things that I knew that my spiritual parents, because even my mother, I told my mother about him, and it was like, block that guy, block him. I don't have a good feeling, and still because I thought, no, she's just being a parent, I asked him to create another Facebook account, but not to delete the previous one. And he created a new Facebook account, which was Moses Brownson. And then he asked me if he should say he's in a relationship. I'm like, yeah, you can put that you're in a relationship. And yeah, I just wanted him
to have that. What's his real name? What's his Moses Brownson? What's his real name?
I took a picture of his ID. When you called, I was still looking for it because surname's not Brownson. We met in his driver's license, actually, not his ID.
Okay.
At another city.
Okay, send me that just so I can have his real name. Send me that, and also send me the videos and the screenshots. But before then, where's his church?
It's in Hammanskraal, and he has other branches. He said he has 5 branches.
Okay.
Yes, he said he has 5 branches. So what raised an eyebrow for me is that he doesn't have a spiritual father, and he has this big church, and the people that he says are his sons, and it seemed dodgy for me, because there are a lot of businesses going on. He has a lodge, and he's in forex, and that for me was just too much. So yeah, he just has a lot of things. So I had asked him, because I just had too many questions. I had asked him about this thing, like, does he trust the people that he that are preaching to on his other branches? And he says yes, they are his sons, and he trusts them. But I still had too many questions about the way he does things, and he'd send me screenshots of the calls that he's having, like calls from abroad, like but still in Africa. So I had just a lot of questions about this guy, and now it was just proven, and also it was just too good to be true for me. And that I just give it my all when he said I should come stay there in Pretoria. We're not gonna have sex. We're not gonna do anything. I should come stay at the lodge and run the lodge as mine. and yeah, and then it raised my eyebrow. The way he just did things.
Okay. And how did it end? Has it ended between you guys, or you're still there?
Excuse me?
Have you ended things between the two of you?
After I had realized that he's now no longer he'd respond after hours, which was so unusual. We'd usually speak for hours, speak for 3 hours on the phone, and he's the boss. So we just speak for hours and hours on the phone, and all of a sudden he wasn't taking my calls and coming with excuses. And then he just told me that his iPhone, he gave it to his sister because his sister doesn't have a phone anymore. So he gave that iPhone to his sister, and now he's left with one phone. So after that, I just realized that, okay, now I can't do that. Because I could see that he's just lying, and he keeps on lying and lying. And then we'd speak on WhatsApp, and then he'd just show me pictures of the lodge. I've just sent you his driver's license.
Okay.
We would speak, he just sent me pictures of the lodge and say, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy with the project, the lodge's project, and I'm not neglecting you. Just know that I still love you and all of that. Okay, the girl had just sent me a 7 minutes, 12 seconds voice note for me to listen to, because she said they've been together for almost 2 years, and she also found disgusting things on his phone. And yeah.
Is she the one that has a baby for him, or another one?
Another one. And she told me that she about the lady that is pregnant, and the lady is from the hometown, and she got pregnant while they were still together.
Okay. Okay.
During the relationship.
Okay.
Yes, I've sent you his driver's license.
Okay. And for you, why is it important for you to share this and talk about this?
It's important because I'm realizing how, we are so fooled by so-called pastors and prophets, and we give in for the sake of, I'm a Christian and I want to marry a Christian, and marrying a pastor is going to grow me spiritual, because that's what I always told him, that I want a man that's also going to grow me spiritually, and I realized that there are a lot of girls that I'm sure there are girls that he's still fooling. I'm sure that there are more girls that he's dating with and being unprotected sex with. Because even this girl told me that she went to test, and by God's grace, she said she tested negative. So I'm just realizing that it's easy for us, especially the girls in church, the born-again Christians in church, that we fall under these pastors that have vague promises for us that they're going to marry us, and you give in, when you even start praying for a person, and you don't even know, spiritually, I thought I knew, though there were red flags, there were a lot of red flags, but I ignored them, because I started falling in love with this person. So it's important for me just to get the word out there, and I've realized that a lot of people that are under his church, and it is important to know that what you are submitting to, and the roots of the person that you are submitting to, the fact that he's using a fake surname, and he has other businesses. Who knows what the money that he has? Where does he take it from? So it's important for me, even for the Church of God, that people not blindfolded by the so-called prophet. And yeah.
Okay, so that is the one girl that got in touch with me, and she's the one that just felt, this cannot continue. This needs to stop. But meanwhile, another girl, uh, his girlfriend, now found out certain information about this one and actually got in touch with her. They said, okay, this guy is actually playing us, right? So she sent her this voice note. Listen to it. It's a different girl here now.
I'll try as much as possible to like cut it short and try to be as fast as possible also. Okay, so month end of July I went to him, right? The first day I got there, right? Obviously he bought a new phone. He bought a new phone, that iPhone 12, whatever. So when we got there, he had to like go out for a minute, and obviously I had to like settle in, take a bath, whatever. So okay, I just settled in, you know, and then he left me with this phone. He gave me the password. So I'll take the phone. He was like, no, you can use it. You can take pictures, whatever. I'm like, yeah, because I was excited, like, baby, look in the phone, Like, okay. No, so I took pictures, So I was trying to look for my Snapchat pictures in his folders. Obviously, when you check the pictures, you're gonna find pictures, right? So I take a checker. I saw a screenshot of a conversation. Yeah, how Liana, and then he saved you as my wife. I'm like, my wife, eh? Okay. I check out the contact info. I'm like, my wife, hi. Okay. Sharp. So it happened again that he came back, and then when he came back, he finds me like at the door. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to leave. He's like, no, why? And I'm like, I want to go home. Please just take me back to my cousin's place. Because before I went to live with my cousin, so he fetched me at my cousin's place. So I'm like, okay, can you please take me back to her because I can't be with you at the moment. Why? I'm like, okay, who is this? I was like, okay, she's part of the reason why I said you and I we need to talk. But then and then he started crying. Melodramatic. He started crying like real tears. He started crying. His fake tears. He started crying. He's like, no, I really love you. I'll break this off with her, whatever. I'll call her Lorena so that you can hear. I'm like, okay, stop. And then he called you, apparently. So I'm gonna like I want to show you something. I want you to listen to something. He called you apparently, and then he didn't put you on loudspeaker. I didn't even question it. After he was done talking to you, apparently, I'm like, I don't believe that you were talking to her, but it's fine. And then he was like, oh, so you're trying to say that I was busy talking to myself. It could be possible because I didn't hear the conversation again. He was like, no, Keho, don't do that. I'm like, sharp. Okay, sharp. So fast forward, I think day three, yes. He goes out again. Because I was using his phone. He was like, no, you can use it for the time being. Like, he wasn't really using it. So I was just there for like pictures and stuff. So sharp. I was busy like taking pictures, and then I couldn't access my Instagram. So I was like, let me just try with his phone because I also used an iPhone, but then it broke. So I was just trying to check if my iCloud would work on his phone. So I'm like, let me just check this. And then I went on Instagram. I saw DMs of a lot of girls. And mind you, he said, when Elena, you guys are just working together because you're doing this drive thingy. You guys are just working together. You guys just went out for lunch and you guys kissed and that's all. I'm like, okay, cool. There were a bunch. Even my friends were in those DMs. Even my friends, but luckily my friends didn't entertain him because they know, and they've also told me about. And then you know what really hurt me the most was the fact that he even texted my little cousin even now, he's still texting her. She just recently sent me like the DMs right now. I think like 30 minutes ago. Okay, Sharp. He comes back. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing right now? But you're doing these things. Like, don't you think, honey? Like, don't you think? It doesn't make sense. Well, this person, he claims to be a man of God. Yeah, he goes out and like, trust me when I say I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that it was more than 50 girls. It was a lot of girls, even girls from Lesotho, my hometown. Like, I was shocked. You understand? So the baby mama issue, I know about it because Nale, the girl we once fought, well, it wasn't really a fight, but then it was a matter of she came into our relationship and she fell pregnant. You understand? So I was kind of mad at that, but then I was like, because I love you, I'll just stick by you. Sharp. I, and then I gave it like at his place. He told me he's never got a girl here. Because the last time, okay, I can take the time I take really, it was not a lodge yet. So it was just him and Tabang. I don't know if you know Tabang. So now I only came now. Like it's a lodge. I knew it was already a lodge, and then he introduced me to the staff or his cousins or whatever. And then we spoke and spoke and spoke, and then I had a conversation with one of his staff members, and then she told me that I actually know about you, Rabana. Like, he told me about you, but then I think she was trying to warn me against him, but he didn't. She didn't want to like use the word warn. You understand? Because he was like, no, Papa. I don't know if you know call him Papa. But there was this girl that he was dating. Wale Kalate, so blah blah blah. And then he was like, and then she was like, wait till I take a he because this person is lesbian. So like it's kind of tough for me to say she. But anyway, she told me, she was like, no, Papa, I'm busy with this girl, wara wara. I'm like, Tatohatsi, where does Tatohatsi fit in this whole thing? I'm like, oh, so he's playing me and her at the same time. And this bunch of girls, like, it was chaotic. It was really chaotic. And in those messages, like, it was all about meet up. Only God knows what happened when those people met up with him. We don't know what happened. We weren't there. You understand? Yo, I miss you, baby. I love you. Oh my God. Yo, Kosiam.
So that's part of the audio. I actually have quite a bit of more audios there, but let me see. Let me do this, right? Let me do this. Uh, it's very sad, but that's the life that they live. Exactly the kind of life that J. Israel also used to live. Behind the scene, they just use the pulpit to get whatever they want to get. That's what they do. And try to make a call. Hello, is that Pastor, Prophet?
Hello.
How are you, Prophet Moses?
Hello.
How are you? I'm actually calling you. Let's try again. I hope he's not watching. If he's watching, then he's aware of it. Keep trying. You switch off the phone, basically. Switch off the phone. So obviously, I wanted to talk to him and to put this before him. There's two versions from these girls, but I'm sure somebody tipped him that Solomon is is talking about you. These guys, you see the way they live their lives, see the way they come, they create this whole facade. And you know what? They go and deceive people who are like lower class, not even middle class. That's who they take advantage of over and over again. See him. He was born in 1993, right? Born in 1993. Can you believe it? So he was double dating, or what do I say? Playing all these girls. They found out, and at least the thing is, the good thing about the girls is uh, the one that reached out to me was not into that. So the moment she discovered that, for her, it was totally a time for her to move on. Even her mother was telling her, hey, move on. This guy is not who he claims he is. Move on. And they go around just having a real nice time, like real nice time with everything. They lie in different ways. They set up things, and you think they are all that. You think they're these rich folks. I mean, look at his photo. Look at him. Everything is well branded. Let me take this off so you can actually really see his shoes. Everything is brand, big brand, right? Everything. Showing his car. That's how they sell themselves, deceitful, right? That's what they do. I'm calling him again. I'm sure he's watching. Moses, pick up your phone. I'm using a different phone now, so I have two phones. Yeah.
You have reached the mailbox of. Then press hash or hang up.
So he's not picking it up. Shall we try again? One last time. Just going to ask you a few questions about your conduct. I mean, you should have answers. Yeah. The con man is not going to pick it up. So please watch out for this guy. Watch out for this guy. He's not who he claims he is. Check out the glasses. Oh my. Yeah, that's what exactly, Victoria, packaging. That's what they call it in Nigeria. You package yourself very well. Package very well. Irene says they start early now, really. Yeah, they start very early. For me, that's why in the beginning I said, for me, these are the people that are going to be causing havoc in the next 10 years. That's why it's good to put it out there, just so maybe it would help one person, it would help this girl or that person, right? Kia says 93. He's still a kid and he has an array of young ladies in charge. He's 93. 93. Yeah, so you notice the walking stick, right? Happy. Let me put on the walking stick so maybe people would see. It's not just a stick, it represents saying something. J. Israel used to carry the same stick. He's in Hamel's crowd. So please, guy, watch out for this guy. He's not who he claimed. Boski said 93. Small boy. Yes, 93. 93. Very small boy. Small boy. Sandra says maybe he's watching, that's why he doesn't answer. Yeah, he's watching. I know he's watching. Somebody must have like tipped him earlier on. Hey, you know, the spotlight is on you now. So, but yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Sorry I couldn't bring the interview that was supposed to be on. We have to reschedule it, but thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you. Please, when we see these things, we try to make sure we speak out against it. And if you're a young woman and these guys have been harassing you, please speak out, you know, and look for help. Speak out just so you can also help somebody, just like this young lady who just got in touch with me to bring it out here. That's what it's really all about. So watch out for this guy. If he comes to you trying to sell you something, trying to get you into Forex, trying to get you into his church, trying to prophesy to you, no, he's a con man. He is not who he claims. So watch out for him on social media. He's going to slide into your DM. Ladies, he's going to slide into your DM. That's what he's going to do. Just watch out for him. Thank you, guys. Say thank you, Solomon. Stay vigilant. Thank you, God. Thank you, all of you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your effort. May God bless you. May He keep you. May we continue to stand in truth. We're not going to fake anything. We're not fakers. We're not fakers. God bless you.
Marriage. Of course, marriage is not your normal bump and face kind of relationship. It brings both excitement and disappointments. If you find yourself married in community of property and often delayed in your business transactions and dealings, worry no more. Because Masinya Attorneys uses the law to help you change from in community of property to out of community of property and vice versa. Call Masinya Attorneys today on 084 383 7747. We will sort you out with a High Court application, and of course you get to keep your spouse. That's Masinya Attorneys on 084 383 7747.